12 signs someone is obsessed with you. The notion that someone might be fixated on you can feel overwhelming, leading to persistent self-doubt regarding the accuracy of your intuition. It's an unsettling sensation that can leave you feeling uneasy, paranoid, and even frightened. Obsession is a frequently misunderstood emotion that can manifest in various forms. Initially, you might feel flattered, but as the behavior intensifies, you might start to feel uncomfortable, violated, and trapped. Distinguishing between a high level of interest and obsession hinges on the intensity and degree of control involved. Healthy interest permits mutual respect and autonomy, while obsession can prove detrimental and disruptive to both parties involved. Determining whether someone is genuinely fixated on you isn't always as straightforward as it may seem. It could commence with minor actions, such as incessantly checking in on you or consistently liking all your social media posts. However, over time, these actions might become more intense and, at times, even perilous. That's why we will explore different indications that someone may be obsessed with you, delving deeply into the diverse ways obsession can manifest itself, and offering practical guidance on how to manage the situation. Whether you are contending with an admirer who refuses to accept rejection or a harasser who is turning your life into a nightmare, this video will equip you with the necessary tools to safeguard yourself. 1. Rumination. This entails an ongoing preoccupation with the individual. When one is fixated on another person, they frequently discover themselves repeatedly revisiting prior encounters and conversations in their thoughts, meticulously scrutinizing every word and gesture. They may also indulge in hypothetical situations, persistently envisioning alternative results for past interactions. This compulsive contemplation can be disconcerting and disrupt one's everyday routines. 2. Estrangement anxiety. Another indication of obsession is separation anxiety, which involves a fear of losing the individual in question. Those fixated on someone may experience anxiety when contemplating the possibility of that person departing or turning them away. This can prompt them to adopt behaviors they believe will stave off this scenario, like persistently keeping tabs on the person, becoming excessively dependent, or closely monitoring their online presence. In certain cases, this might occur when someone is obsessed with a romantic partner, causing them to feel anxious and distressed when their partner spends time with friends or family without their company. 3. Social media stalking. Stalking represents a prevalent marker of obsession that has become more convenient in the contemporary digital era. An individual consumed by obsession might invest an excessive amount of time scrutinizing the online profiles of their fixation, eagerly searching for any traces of the individual's activities or the individuals they engage with. They may also indulge in more invasive actions, like sending numerous messages or comments on social media platforms, or even attempting to gain unauthorized access to the person's online accounts. As an illustration, if someone is obsessed with a celebrity, they may dedicate hours scrolling through the celebrity's social media feeds, tirelessly seeking any tidbits about their private life. 4. Fantasizing. Obsession can drive individuals to concoct intricate mental scenarios envisioning a life entwined with the object of their obsession, replete with romantic and sexual fantasies. These fantasies can become so consuming that they divert their attention from their real-life connections and obligations. As a result, they may experience disappointment and a sense of discontent when their fantasies fail to materialize. For instance, if someone is obsessed with a colleague, they might dedicate hours to daydreaming about a romantic involvement with that colleague, even when there is no reciprocated interest from the colleague. 5. Idealization. This is the act of idealizing the individual, elevating them to a flawless status in one's eyes. It entails the deliberate disregard of any imperfections or unfavorable characteristics, with attention exclusively directed towards their positive attributes. For example, if someone is obsessed with a romantic partner, they might become enamored with the partner's physical appearance or personality traits, all the while overlooking any potential red flags or cautionary indicators that could hint at an unhealthy aspect of the relationship. 6. Jealousy. Jealousy can serve as an indicator of obsession when an individual becomes overly possessive or domineering within a relationship. Obsession denotes an intense fixation or preoccupation with someone or something, and jealousy can emerge as a consequence of this fixation. In cases where someone is profoundly obsessed with their partner, a compelling urge to exert control and maintain close proximity may arise. They might experience jealousy when their partner engages with others or spends time apart, driven by a fear of relinquishing control or losing their partner's affection. This form of jealousy can prove detrimental and injurious to both parties involved in the relationship, potentially leading to controlling behaviors, emotional manipulation, and in extreme instances, even physical abuse. 7. Obsessive communication. Obsessive communication involves the incessant pursuit of contact with the object of one's obsession, frequently to an extent that it can become overpowering. This typically entails sending a multitude of messages, emails, or phone calls on a daily basis. In cases where the recipient does not reply or expresses a need for some personal space, the individual exhibiting these behaviors may experience sentiments of irritation, frustration, and a sense of intrusion felt by the person on the receiving end of the communication. 8. Possessiveness. Possessiveness shares similarities with jealousy, manifesting as a sense of ownership or entitlement toward the individual in question. Those who are fixated on someone might exhibit possessive and controlling tendencies, striving to restrict the person's interactions with others or dictate their conduct. 9. Validation seeking. One of the signs that someone is obsessively fixated on you is their relentless quest for validation. An obsessed individual seeks validation from their subject because of the intense emotional bond they share, believing that their own self-esteem is intricately linked to the approval and acceptance of the other person. They hold the conviction that their sole source of happiness, love, or fulfillment in life hinges on the subject's feelings and reactions. Their thoughts and actions are profoundly centered on the subject, making it difficult for them to move on or release their grip on the relationship. They may find themselves consumed by the subject's viewpoints, emotions, and responses, persistently craving the subject's attention and endorsement. This behavior can be problematic, potentially fostering an unequal power dynamic within the relationship where the subject may feel pressured or obliged to offer validation and support to the obsessed individual. As a consequence, the obsessed individual may become emotionally reliant on the subject, finding it challenging to function without their presence or validation. 10. Boundary disregarding. Obsession has a tendency to be all-encompassing, making it difficult to look beyond one's own cravings. Within the realm of a relationship, this can materialize as a failure to respect the boundaries, wishes, or requests for personal space made by the other person. The obsessed individual might genuinely believe they possess the right to initiate contact with the subject or persist in the relationship, even when the subject has clearly articulated a preference for no contact or distance. This behavior results from their prioritization of their own desires over the well-being and autonomy of the other person. This behavior should be regarded as a warning sign of potentially unhealthy and perilous conduct, particularly if the obsessed individual escalates into a more aggressive or persistent pursuit of the subject. 11. Clinging. Clingy conduct frequently emerges as an expression of an overwhelming longing for closeness and recognition. In cases where an individual is obsessively fixated on another, they might experience feelings of insecurity and dread at the prospect of losing that person. Simultaneously, they may grapple with an inability to maintain command over their own emotions and actions, causing them to heavily depend on the subject for emotional affirmation and support. This brand of clinginess serves as a sign of obsession as it reveals a disregard for the subject's personal boundaries and autonomy. The obsessed individual may evolve into a possessive and controlling figure, striving to dominate the subject's time and attention. 12. Loss of self. When an individual becomes obsessively fixated on a romantic partner, they might perpetually prioritize their partner's needs and wishes over their own, occasionally at the expense of their own well-being. This habit often engenders emotions of bitterness, exasperation, and even self-loathing when they perceive themselves as falling short of their own expectations. Additionally, obsession can serve as an underlying indication of psychological challenges like anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. These psychological hurdles can drive a person to search for validation from external origins, instead of discovering inner fulfillment, resulting in an unhealthy reliance on others or external conditions for their happiness. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss any new videos. Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below, and feel free to stay and enjoy it until the end. Also make sure to check out our next highlighted video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.